Hello everyone, welcome back to Nick's Flicks Fix. It's Nick here, and today I'm bringing you a review for the new film, The Walk. The Walk is directed by Robert Zemeckis and stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Philippe Petit. Based on the true story of Philippe, it follows his story. He grows up in France and he's a street performer and he loves the artistry of high wire walking. He wants to make his talent a true art. He wants to be a true artist. He's trying to figure out ways to make himself bigger and better, and he finally decides that he wants to walk between these two towers that are being constructed in New York at the time, and that is the World Trade Center towers. And it follows his life, his relationships, him getting his team together, all the way up to him performing this act that he actually performed in real life. And this film brought on so much anxiety because I'm not scared of heights, but now after this movie I'm very scared of heights, and this guy did it in real life and I don't know why and I don't know how, but I can't even. This film literally made me can't even. My palms were sweaty watching the final hour of this film. I was shaking, and I actually felt physically sick at one point. I was working myself up. There's so much anxiety in me that I felt physically sick. Before we get into the last hour of the film, we should probably talk about the first hour of the film. The first part of the film follows Philippe growing up and really finding his passion for this sort of artistry within street performing, doing mime and high wire walking and things like that. Him discovering that he wants to be someone who's known for his art, and when he decides to walk between the World Trade Center, him trying to get a team together, trying to actually pull this off, becomes a very entertaining and elaborate sort of heist film almost. So the first half of the film for me was somewhat, it wasn't average, but it wasn't anything amazing, you know. We'd seen a lot of these tropes in films before. There's the romantic angle, and it does feel like a heist film when they're going into the World Trade Center and things like that. It had an Ocean's 11 kind of vibe going for it, so it wasn't anything new we had seen. The acting is great for the first half as well. Joseph Gordon-Levitt absolutely kills it. You really feel Philippe's passion through Joseph's acting. He brings a lot to this character, a lot of realism and a lot of heart, and you could tell Joseph Gordon-Levitt really wanted to immerse himself into this character. But the second half of this film is when things start getting extremely insane. Huge props to Robert Zemeckis. He's not a director that gets talked about enough. He has directed amazing films. Castaway, Forrest Gump, Flight. He has directed phenomenal and visually stunning films, and this film is visually his greatest to date. Like, the blend of real life and CGI is beautiful. That last hour of the film when Philippe's getting up to the top of the tower and they're setting up the wires and then he gets on the wire is shot in such a way that it immerses you into this experience. It's out of fucking control, man. The last hour of this film is spectacular to watch, even though it caused me extreme amounts of anxiety because things can go wrong if you're walking on a high wire 400 meters in the air. You know, who would have thought? But the way it's filmed, you know, point of view shots looking down, and you know, shots of Joseph Gordon-Levitt trembling. You like, get off the wire, man. You need to get off the wire right now. But it's so entertaining to watch. You want them to kind of stay on the wire. You don't know what to do, and that's why this film made me can't even, but it's so spectacular and I don't know how to feel. In 3D as well, this film is amazing. I'm not a huge fan of 3D. I've seen a couple of movies in 3D this year that I enjoyed, but this film you have to see in 3D. The way they portray the height and depth and things like that when he's walking on the tower is phenomenally done. The only unfortunate thing about The Walk is that you do have to sit through the first hour to get to the second hour of the film. And the first hour is not bad, it's just not great. It is entertaining. You do love watching Joseph Gordon-Levitt on screen and the passion he brings to Philippe's character, but it's just not as exciting as the last hour of the film. I'm going to say this film is definitely worth seeing in cinemas just for the last hour. You should see it in 3D and on the biggest screen possible. But if you're not a fan of 3D or this story doesn't interest you, I would not be surprised if you even wait till this comes out on DVD. But please just prepare yourself for pure anxiety. If you immerse yourself in films as much as I do, you're going to have panic attacks in the last hour of this film, but in the best way possible. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching my review. More reviews coming later this week for Legend and Crimson Peak, two films I'm very excited to see. In the meantime, go see a movie sometime.